Howdy, folks. Welcome back to this rendition of the Main Topic Podcast. My name is Jay Salby, at least that's what we'll go with today anyway, and I'm your host. Today I'm joined by Marli Powell. She is Miss Wallace State. I was actually in a bit of a situation when I was trying to figure out this interview because I was like, well, I want to interview Miss Wallace State, but I also want to interview Marli Powell. But then, hit me like a ton of bricks. Same person, so it works out pretty well. Miss Wallace State, big accomplishment. That was relatively recently. When did the pageant convene? I guess.
Yes, thank you. It was September 15th.
Okay. Yes. So very
almost
recently.
a month ago. So.
Sweet. And then you've had, I'm sure you've had all sorts of fun things that you've been doing between now and then.
Yes, life has been crazy since, but it's been so fun. I've got to do a lot of different things.
Gotcha. I'm glad to hear all that. Now let's see. So first, I want to talk about what brings you to Wallace.
So I'm from West Point, which isn't far from Wallace. It's in Coleman County.
Okay.
So obviously it's close to home, but I actually got a scholarship to Wallace for singing. So
Nice.
I'm in singers and
Yes.
I'm in choir. And I'm hoping to do theater next semester, but this semester was just really busy for me, so I decided to wait. But they're doing Little Women next semester, so I'm really hoping to do that.
Yes. So you sound like a busybody. You got a lot on your
Yes,
plate.
I have a lot going on, especially with singers. We're getting to go to Washington, D.C. in March. I'm super excited about that. And then we're going actually to Pigeon Forge in December to perform.
Okay.
So we've got a bunch of different little performances coming up that I'm excited about.
And did y'all just have some performances recently? I believe there was one at the Oktoberfest.
Yes,
Is that right?
so we had one at Oktoberfest and one at Fair Queen. So those are the only two that we've done so far. But it was really cool just getting to perform for the community and seeing everybody that we know, especially for me because I think I'm the only one from Coleman County in singers. So, yes, I think I am. I'm the only one from Coleman, actually,
Yeah.
I believe so. So it was cool for me to, go back and see, where I'm from and get to perform in front of everybody. So it was really a full circle moment.
Yes, well, that sounds like a great experience. So somehow I managed to miss y'all. I was there for every day for Oktoberfest.
Yeah, I seen you the other
That's
night.
right,
Yeah.
we were there. But I guess I missed y'all's performance. But oh well, maybe I'll take the trip to DC with y'all.
Yes, you should.
See everything.
For sure. Only a
Alrighty.
short drive.
Oh yes, only a little bit, like 45
Only a
minutes.
little
and get
trip.
there. But let's see. So what are you studying here at Wallace?
So I'm doing general studies, but I'm hoping to transfer to UNA for public relations and marketing.
And is this your first semester at Wallace?
Yes, I did
Gotcha.
dual enrollment.
Okay.
So I'm a little ahead, but it's my first semester.
Yes, gotcha. Well, we're in the same boat there, so that's nice.
Yes.
Let's see. So what about classes you're taking this semester? Anything you're just really particularly excited about? Any class you're really happy to be in?
So I like sociology.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
a great class.
We sit beside each other
We
in
do.
sociology. But I really like that class, but I also like our singers class. So we have a couple of different music classes that we have to take, so I
Okay.
really enjoy those.
Gotcha. All sounds great. You're working on, your general studies. What are you planning to do with those credits?
So I'm wanting to go to the University of North Alabama to get a degree in public relations and marketing. Right now I'm looking at being a medical sales rep, but
Okay.
really I'm just looking at open doors. I actually got to intern with Motion, it's a
Okay.
church conference
Yes.
this past summer, and it was so cool because I got to go behind the stage and backstage and just see everything that happens behind the scenes that you don't get to see. I went since 6th grade, but it's different being behind the scenes and seeing all the hard work that goes into it. But it was really cool because I got to intern with their communications department. So I'm really open-minded, but right now I'm leaning towards medical sales rep. Well, why I'm looking at that is
Yes.
because one of my which mentorship that's my CSI, so it's important to me, but one of my mentors is actually medical sales rep. And a couple of ladies from our church, I know that that's what they do, and they really enjoy it, so.
Well, it's good you have a plan. That's half the
Yes.
battle. But yes, you mentioned CSI earlier. Now, the first time I had heard this from you, I was thinking you meant crime scene investigation, but that is actually not the case. So if you could elaborate on what your CSI is and what that means.
It's actually a community service initiative, and in the pageant, you have to pick a platform
Yes.
or a topic, and I chose mentorship. So I actually chose that. I grew up an only child, but I had multiple different mentors that I looked up to.
Okay.
And, some point in your life, I think that, especially as a girl, it's important to have a mentor that is poured into you, especially during middle school and high school, but especially middle school because that kind of lays the foundation for high school, in my opinion. So I'm here to be that mentor for girls and hopefully be a good influence in their life and point them in the right direction.
Gotcha. And this mentorship that you're talking about, are you planning on expanding this? Like, what are your plans to do with that? Are you going to be the only mentor, recruit more mentors? What are you thinking?
I'm actually hoping to start an ambassador program with Wallace,
okay.
where I get different girls from Wallace to go with
Okay.
me to different county schools and city schools. I'm hoping to go to Coleman Primary some. Like I said, I'm a county girl, so I'm not really familiar with Coleman City like you are. I know you go to Coleman. But it's a great school, and I'm excited to get to do all that and meet all the different girls. I'm actually hoping, I actually got all this, started talking about it this week, but I'm hoping to have like a tea party with kindergarten through 5th graders, whoever wants to come. Well, probably, I'm either thinking about doing it somewhere at West Point, where I'm from, or here, and really just getting to meet the girls and having a little tea party with them, maybe read them a couple of books. And then for middle school, 6th through 8th grade, I'm hoping to have like a PJ night or have like a movie night and get to know them, and might just do like a Bible study or something with them, so get to know them and pour into their life a little bit.
Gotcha. So are you trying to connect like a faith and spirituality aspect to mentorship also? Okay,
So before I started it, I actually kind of wanted it to be like a ministry. And I had been thinking about it for a long time and just had it, I felt like God was just laying it on my heart. And so I started an Instagram account, I think it was in August.
Okay.
And I kept thinking, like, what do I want to name it? What do I want to name it?
Yeah.
And all I could think of was, like, Marli, mentorship, it's M.
Yes.
So, I don't know, I'm weird about this stuff. Like, I like for everything to match. I like for it to all lay out. And there had been a song come on the radio, and I don't know if you've heard it, but Josh Baldwin made a song, and it's called Made for More.
Yes.
Yes, I love that song. And when it came out, like, it was just time in my life, and I needed that song. It was just such a good encouragement for me, and I just felt like God laid on my heart, like, that's the name, Made for More. And I realized that no matter, like, how many hardships that you go through, like, you're made for more, and God's, like, called you to a higher purpose than dwelling in, you know, what's bothering you or what you may be going through. You're made for more than that. So that's overall my mission, is to pour into these girls and let them know that they're made for more than what they go through, and that I'm here to be a mentor for them.
Gotcha. Yes, it all sounds great. And like I say, you got a good head on your shoulders. So I think,
Thank
great
you.
process there. You're welcome. But the Instagram account was called Made for More?
Yes, it's called Made for More Mentorship, and I think it says by Marli, but that's it.
Okay. So people can find it on Instagram?
Yes. So if you follow my personal Instagram, it's actually like in my bio, so it's real easy to find.
Okay.
But if you don't, it's just Made for More. I think it's made_for_more_mentorship.
Gotcha.
It's a long one, but I think that's it.
Now, when did you decide that mentorship was what you wanted to do as your CSI?
Probably this summer. I would say really in May, I guess, when I was graduating, I knew I was wanting to do the pageant. I've done pageants my whole life, but I had never really done a preliminary. So I had done one pageant, and it was kind of weird. It's Fair Queen, so it's like a prelim for a prelim, kind of.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I didn't win, but it taught me so many life lessons. And my CSI, well, it was called a platform then, but my platform then was Be the Sunshine.
Okay.
And it was really just focused on community involvement and volunteering in your community and giving back to, like, where you grew up. So I knew that I wanted to have some sort of that in my CSI, but I didn't know exactly what. And I got to thinking, and, like I said, I grew up an only child, but I had tons of mentors that poured into me. And really this summer, I felt like God was laying it on my heart, like, start a ministry for mentorship. Start a ministry for mentorship. So that's what I did. And I've just seen him just move in my life since. And I've really just witnessed, like, when you're faithful to him, like, how he can just pour out in it. So with the pageant or not, I'm just thankful that I've had the opportunity to get and meet these new girls. So.
Gotcha. So it was sort of like you had your broad idea of just community involvement and pouring back in, and then you were able to narrow it down to mentorship.
Yes. I actually didn't think that my Instagram, like, would be as well as it is. It went so much better than what I had thought that it would have. So I just started actually in Psalms. I would just read a Psalms each day and video myself, like, normally in the school parking lot before class, and I would just post it. But there were so many people that just reached out and was like, hey, that's such good encouragement for me today. Like, I needed to hear that. And for me, I was just like, well, I'm just reading, like, a chapter of Psalms each day. It's really not that big of a deal. But for me, like, it was important because in that time of my life, I knew that, like, that's what I felt God was wanting me to do. And it was just special for me. So I'm just thankful that I've had that opportunity with my CSI.
And you are a member of Temple Baptist Church.
Yes,
is that correct?
I go to Temple Baptist. Yes.
Gotcha. So what do they have any involvement there? Are they real supportive of this, or are they aware that this is what you do?
Yes.
Okay.
So I love my church. My church is great. I've actually got to lead worship in my church.
Okay.
I lead at TSM, Temple Student Ministries, and if you're
Yes.
listening and you don't go to a church, you can definitely come to TSM.
Okay.
Come sit by me. I'll save you a seat. But yes, my youth pastor especially, his name is Andrew Heptonstall, and his wife is
Okay.
Tracy.
Gotcha.
Tracy especially, well, both of them, but they have just poured into my life since, forever. But they moved here, I think, when I was in 5th grade
Okay.
from Panama City. And they are the best youth pastors and youth leaders that I could have asked for. Like, God definitely knew exactly what I needed because they have poured into my life continuously. And they've taught me just about everything that I know. But really, Tracy was a really important person that made me think I wanted to do it on mentorship because any time that I've ever went through something, she has continuously never failed. Like, go by their house, talk to her, call her on the phone. She's always been there for me and my small group leader from TSM.
Okay.
Same thing with her. I have so many mentors from my church that have just supported me and pushed me to be the best person that I can possibly be. And especially through worship, like I said, I used to sing, but I didn't really sing in front of people, if that makes sense. Like I did when I was little. But like in middle school, elementary, there's not really many opportunities for you to sing. But I didn't start singing until 9th grade. And it was because I joined theater at my school, but after that, it opened doors to where I could start helping lead worship at my church. So my church has been a huge part of pushing me to be who I am today.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, well, it all sounds great. You're real involved, so, always an important thing.
Thank you.
But also along the lines of, I guess, the student ministry. So you say you lead worship with that. So is that typically singing? Or do you have like an
Yes.
instrument or anything that you...
I wish I did, but
Okay.
I've tried. I've tried to learn the keyboard, and I kind of know how. I'm not good enough to play.
You can make noises on it.
Oh, hey, make a joyful noise.
Yes, yes.
It's joyful, but I don't know if it's good.
Okay.
But I know how to play a little bit, and I
Yeah.
know like a few chords on the guitar, but not anything to play. I did get handed the egg shaker at practice about a month ago.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yes, and I got it taken away from me.
Oh.
But before church. But no, I just have the mic. That's really
Okay.
all I have. But hopefully one day soon, I'll have something, but probably not.
Well, the good news is we're young, so we can keep moving forward and
Yes,
figure some stuff out.
Yes, I just sing.
Gotcha. So you said that you knew for a relatively long time that you wanted to be part of the Miss Wallace State pageant.
So like I said, I've been in pageants since I was a baby, but this was my first prelim technically to do. There was like an actual prelim. But I knew in high school, I was like, well, if I go to Wallace, I was debating on Wallace or UNA.
Yes.
And I was like, well, if I go to UNA, then I want to be a Miss UNA. But if I go to Wallace, then I want to be Miss Wallace. And I ended up here. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go and have a good time, make the most out of my CSI, But yeah, I really wasn't expecting to win Miss Wallace, but I was really just doing it for the CSI, and I like to sing, so any opportunity I can, I try to take advantage of it. But I was just trying to spread my CSI, and like I said, I kind of view it, I like to think of it as like my ministry that I'm starting, and I just wanted to be a light, and I knew that in order to be in the pageant, like you had to get involved in your community, so I've been able to go and speak to different schools and get to know the girls some, do Bible studies with them, and just build connections with them.
So you're using the terminology prelim. I'm guessing that stands for preliminary?
Yes.
And what does that mean?
So preliminary is a pageant that you do before Miss Alabama.
Okay.
So if you win, then you go to Miss Alabama.
Alrighty.
But it consists of an interview, on-stage question, talent, fitness, and evening gown.
You said something along the lines of you were in a pageant that was a prelim to a prelim?
Yeah, well, that's really the best I can explain it. It was Fair Queen.
Yes.
And basically what that is, every county school has a pageant, and if you win that pageant, then you go to the county, Coleman County Fair Queen pageant, and that is a preliminary. So you don't get to be in that unless you win your school pageant.
Okay.
So that's just, it's basically like the same categories and everything, but you just go and you represent your school.
Sweet. So it's good. So it's like you're climbing the ladder, and it's just getting to the next step.
Yes.
Each one's harder than the last. Gotcha.
That was actually, this year's Fair Queen was just crowned Tuesday night, so Avery Gersman, she did great. All the girls look pretty, and they all did great.
That's great. I was there, but I was not aware that was on at Tuesday night. I
Yep.
know that Coleman sent oh, I can't think of her name off the top of my head. It was something Call Off.
I can't remember.
She's one of the Call Off daughters. I can't think of her name though.
Yes.
Caroline Call Off.
Yes,
That's her
maybe.
name.
I know who she was, but I wasn't familiar with her name. But yes, she done really good.
So you're transferring to UNA after you finish your time at Wallace. So do you think you'll be part of Miss UNA or whatever pageant they have?
Hopefully so. I'll definitely participate in it, and I will definitely be in it. And hopefully win Miss UNA, but I'm hoping to carry my CSI Made for More mentorship over to that. So hopefully just see it expand and see what God can do with it.
Gotcha. And then you'll just be like collecting sashes, right? So like Miss Wallace State and Miss UNA.
Hopefully, maybe.
Gotcha. Now is that something you think that would like carry with you for the rest of your life? So like if you were to get like a doctorate or something, you would be Dr. Miss Wallace State, Miss UNA,
Oh, no.
Marli Kate Powell.
I wish. It's been great so far, but definitely not.
But let's see. So also going into just the order of everything, how quickly did you start preparing? I guess physically for the pageant. So I guess like the process, picking out a dress, figuring out how you're going to get hair, makeup done, whatever that may be.
Yes. So fun fact, I did not get my dress that I wore until 2 nights before the pageant.
Okay.
It didn't get. I had to get it altered, but I did not get it until 2 days before. But it was fine. It fit. So I had a dress, but I had been selling some of my dresses, so I saw this one, so I got it. But my talent dress that I wore, I actually wore it. I've wore it in a couple of pageants. I've had it for a while. It's black and white, and then my evening gown was white.
Okay.
And then my interview, I had it before. It was pink. Trying to think. For fitness, you have to order from an business. It's called Rebel.
Okay.
So everyone has to order from the website. But when I was ordering, everything was out of stock.
Oh, no.
So I had to just scrunch up what I could find. So I was DMing girls hey, can I borrow your skirt? But I ended up finding one. I actually wore Amy Baldwin's. So
okay.
Yes, she was
so
a lifesaver.
Shout out to her. Yeah.
Yes, Lily Beth. Yes, I wore her skirt. She wore it in Fair Queen last year, so I wore one of hers. So.
Well, I don't want to say that you Frankensteined your outfit together, but that kind of is what it sounds like for the fitness portion anyway.
Yes.
Gotcha.
But it was fun.
Gotcha. And then when I believe the picture I saw with you whenever you were crowned or however that ceremony works, were you wearing a white dress and
yes, that was the dress that I got 2 nights before.
Gotcha. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, why white? Is that it had to be a certain color, or was white just really speaking to you?
You can get whatever color you want, whatever you feel like. I just liked the dress. I liked the shoulders on it. So, yeah, they had that dress in white or a navy, and I think royal blue, but I liked the white.
You like the white the best? Yeah. So, it might surprise you to know this, but I'm not familiar with dress shopping.
Really?
Yes. But I say all that to say, where do you shop around here? Do you shop far away? Like where?
Really just wherever. If you get on Instagram, they have some just wherever you go. There's First Avenue in town, Southern Grace Formals. I got mine from Falconberry's.
Okay.
They're in Birmingham. By UNA. I love UNA.
Yes.
There's a place called Cherry Tree Lane, and that's where I got my talent outfit, and I've actually got a couple of dresses from them before. They're great people. They're super nice. And then in Birmingham, there's Fit for a Crown, the Clothes Tree. There's several different good places around here, so.
Gotcha. Sweet. So you said you'd bought a couple from the folks that you bought your most recent one from?
No, from Cherry Tree Lane.
From Cherry Tree
in
Lane.
Florence.
Gotcha,
yes.
in Florence. Okay.
Right
by UNA. Gotcha.
Yes, right by UNA.
It all comes full circle.
Yes. We went, I believe, I got my prom dress there. I've gotten 2 pageant dresses from there, and then I got my prom dress there. So I think me and my mom go to the Miss UNA pageant every year, and I think I got that pageant dress before we went. We went and shopped, if I remember right, so.
Oh yeah, so you were in the pageant mindset. You were I'm about to go get to see a pageant, and so I'm gonna go and take a look at dresses.
I've done pageants for a while, so I needed one for another pageant because my pageant dress didn't fit me anymore. So me and my mom went in there before the UNA pageant, and I was like,
This is the one, right? So it was really speaking to you.
Yes, it was actually my black velvet when I wore it for talent.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And what was the talent that you did?
I sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow from The Wizard of Oz, but it's a different rendition of it. So it's actually Jessica Proctor's version. She was Miss Alabama 2017.
Okay.
So I sang her version of it.
Gotcha. And you, so obviously you were talking about growing to sing in front of a group of people, how many people were you singing in front of for that? Just the panel of judges, I guess?
Yes, and anyone who came to watch the pageant.
Okay. So a bunch of random people. And
yes.
I mean, obviously, I'm assuming you were nervous for the pageant to some extent, but I could be wrong.
Yes. I was nervous for the onstage question.
Yes.
I love the interview. I don't know why. It's kind of odd. Most girls are nervous for it, but I like to talk. And I just think it's special, like, getting to meet them. I used to be nervous for interviews, but then I just try to have the mindset of, I don't know them, just like they don't know me. So they're just trying to get to know me, and I can get to know them right back. It's just like having a conversation with them. So I tried to not stress about it very much. But the onstage question, I had never done a pageant that I didn't know what question they was going to ask me on stage. So that was a new thing for me. They said something. It was something along the lines of why is mentorship important?
Okay.
And what would I do to partner like with Wallace State to expand my CSI?
Okay, gotcha. And then that's where did you already have ideas for like the ambassador program at that point?
Yes. So I actually said, studies show that 9 out of 10 girls who are mentored will one day become a mentor themselves.
Okay.
So, like I said, I want to be that girl for them so that, we can impact the next generation together. So, for me, it was, how am I going to do this? How am I going to reach? How am I going to be a mentor to these girls throughout the county and, county-wide and just Alabama-wide, we're going to expand it as big as possible. But I got to thinking, and I was like, I need other girls to help me. I can't do it all on my own. So I thought with Miss Wallace State, with that title, it's my job to get other girls involved. I think it's important to be involved with your school and to help represent your school. So I wanted to give other girls that opportunity to help me as well. So I'm actually looking for girls right now. If you want to join, if you're listening to this, you can DM my Instagram account and we'll get to talking. But I'm hoping to just get a girl, and I don't know how I really want to do it yet. I don't know if I want to get, one girl to go with me, to a certain school, and every time I go to that school, she'll go with me, or if I'll just kind of rotate it. I'm not sure yet, but still thinking about it. But I'm definitely taking, some ideas of, girls, if you're interested in going and just being a good, positive influence in their life and getting to know them.
Yeah, and that's great, too, because, you won't know what resources you have until, you've got your people lined up.
I'm also, on my Instagram account, I'm wanting to do some interviews on there, kind of like a reel idea or TikTok.
Okay.
I'm not really sure yet, but I'm thinking maybe go live. I don't know if you can collaborate with somebody and go live with them at the same time and then save it as a reel or something.
Gotcha.
But really just girls, if you're wanting to share your testimony of what you've went through, how you want to use your testimony to help other girls maybe not struggle with the same things or just be an encouragement for girls who are struggling with the same things. I'm also looking for girls to interview with that, so.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, yeah, great. You definitely got, like I say, a lot of it figured out, so that's good. And you're also flexible, so that's also nice, being able to walk through that and come up with new things.
Thank you.
And so I also want to talk about, so you said you got your dress 2 days before.
Yeah.
Okay. But how long ago had you picked it out?
So I actually went to go get it, and they didn't have my size, so they had to order it.
Okay.
And when they ordered it, it came in with a stain.
Oh.
And it's white. So,
yes, there's no hiding that.
It can't have a stain.
Yes.
So they had to send it back, and then they ordered another one. Then when they ordered another one, it had to be altered. Okay. And I had already, got rid of my other dress. So I was like, oh, no.
Okay.
So my neighbor, she's a superhero. Her name's Anita Waldrop. Y'all should hit her up for alterations. She's the best. She's the sweetest lady you'll ever meet.
Gotcha.
She fixed it, and she did great. I was stressing, kind of. My mom, my Mimi, we was all like, oh, no. But it all came together, and she saved me.
Alrighty. Yeah, so I guess you're giving all the credit to her, maybe?
Yes.
So you're like, Miss Wallace State.
Go Miss Anita.
Yes, Miss Anita. Gotcha. When does the process start for, hair and makeup? How long before the pageant does that start?
So we had to be here at 7:30.
In the morning?
Yes.
Okay.
And the pageant didn't start until 7 that night.
Oh.
So I think my interview was at 2:15. But I was also second to last, so mine was obviously second to last for interviews, too.
Yes.
So I think interviews started at 11, if I remember right. That might be wrong, so don't hold me to that, but it was somewhere around then. But the teens had to go first, and they rolled into misses. So I got my hair and makeup done at 5:30.
Okay, that morning.
Yeah. Or
That's some dedication.
Yeah. Yeah, I was tired.
Gotcha.
My brain by the pageant had definitely been occupied.
Okay.
But yes, I had to get up super early and get my hair and makeup done. So.
Gotcha. And do you think you were kind of getting tired throughout the day, or were you still just so nervous / excited?
I was really so nervous. I mean, not nervous, excited, but I mean, I was nervous. Like I said, I was kind of nervous for the onstage question, just because I didn't know what they was going to ask me. I felt like I knew everything about my CSI. I wasn't really nervous. Like, I knew that I knew what I had done, and I knew that I had done things for my CSI. And so, like, I knew that I would have enough information to talk about, but it was just a matter of, like, what are they going to ask me? What if they ask me something that I don't know the answer to? Yeah. But they ended up doing it, and I was stressing for no reason. It really wasn't even that bad. But after the onstage question, it was just, like, smooth sailing. It was so fun.
Gotcha.
So fun.
Sweet. Yeah, it all sounds great. I don't think I'll ever be able to experience anything like that. So, I'm getting to live vicariously through you in this situation.
Okay.
But let's see. So what about, how many different events are there within the pageant?
So there's interview and then on-stage question, and we actually did a dance. So it was Dolly themed. I love Dolly.
Sweet.
So that was super fun. And we sang, we danced to Rockstar by Dolly Parton.
Okay.
And then we came off the stage and we did our on-stage question one at a time. We done evening gown. Okay. Yes, that was it. So, yeah.
And then how quickly after all the categories are done did they go ahead and crown you?
It was directly after. We really didn't even, if I remember right, we didn't even really wait. Like, it might have been 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, well, so that...
It wasn't long, no.
But it didn't feel like a long 10 minutes for you where you're just like, oh,
no, it was so fun. Me and my team, literally, during the pageant, not during the pageant, but like in between interviews, we was in the theater room, like the pink room. It has the chicken on the wall. I don't know if you know what room I'm talking about. Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, yes. We was in there, and we was just having a great time. Her name's Gracie Harris. I love her. She can sing so good. But we was making TikToks. We was just harmonizing. We was seeing how many songs we could harmonize to. So we just had a great time. We literally had worship sessions, like, backstage. Everybody was just singing. It was great. We all had fun. It really just helped to calm the nerves, but especially her. Me and her just sang the entire time.
So you're sitting in that room, right? Or maybe you're standing, I don't know. But you're in that room for about 10 minutes, you say, before they crown you. So how confident were you feeling about being crowned? I didn't think I was going to win. Okay. But I was confident in the work that I had put into it. So I knew that, like, I had done the best that I could have. I felt really good about my interview. I felt good about my onstage question, about my talent, but all the girls there was, like, so talented, and so you can just tell they was very intelligent, like, how smart they was, and so I tried not to compare as a girl. Like, I think it's easy to compare, especially in a pageant. Yes. But I just try to tell myself before a pageant is if you've put in the work that you know that you put in, especially with my CSI, that's really why I wanted to do the pageant. I knew I had worked at it, so I didn't think I was going to win, but I was confident that, like, I had done what I was supposed to do with the work, and I had done the best that I could have. Gotcha. Yeah, well, so you did know that you did the best that you could have, but the cherry on top was the
I didn't think I was going to win. I was very shocked. I was shocked. The girls' talents was so good. Like, I just did not think. It definitely shocked me, but I'm very thankful. I'm excited.
Now, did you get to witness, like, the other talents and other categories for the other girls?
So during the pageant, not really, because, like, I was getting ready and stuff.
Yes.
But a couple of days before, like, we had practices and stuff, so I had already seen their talents, and they done great. One girl, Jeslyn Maple, she sang Still Rolling Stones by Lauren Daigle. Asia Hasler, she sang Bring on the Rain. Okay. And then Tessa, she danced to Goodness of God. Okay. So they all done great.
Gotcha. Yeah.
They had my jaws on the floor. I was like, oh my goodness.
So you were really impressed with them?
Yes.
That's nice. And was that like a nice little pat on the back for you too, as you were like, wow, they're just so amazing and I get to be, part of this amazing group?
Yes. I was like, I get to stand beside these girls. Like, they're great. And all of their CSIs they was good. They was good. They're definitely, they have a lot of work. They all need to be in another prelim. That's what I told them. They've definitely been putting in hard work with theirs too and getting out there and reaching the community. But
how large was the judges panel?
I think there was 5 or 6.
5 people? Okay. Gotcha. And is it pretty, like, mixed, men and women, or all women, all men?
Yes, there was one guy, and then the rest of them was girls, I think.
Gotcha. Okay.
I believe so. Yeah, it was all kind of a blur, to be honest.
Gotcha.
Yes, I think that's right.
Mm-hmm. Now, also about that judges panel, do you have, like, any idea what they were looking for? I mean, obviously, there's certain things that you had to do to prepare, so you've got that idea, but was it more like throwing stuff at a wall to see what sticks, or were you worried about just making sure you were as true to yourself as possible?
I just tried to go in there and be myself.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to make them laugh, which I'm not I am a serious person, but
Okay.
I like to laugh. I like to have a good time.
Uh-huh.
So I went in there, we talked about in my interview, we talked about Mexican food.
Ooh.
I had on my interview fact sheet that my favorite food was Mexican.
Uh-huh.
So they asked me, if I was to take them to any Mexican restaurant in Coleman, where would I take them and
Okay.
why? And I was like, well, they're all the same to me. I'm not going to turn any of them down.
Okay.
But if I had to pick, I guess Buena Vista, because their fried ice
Okay.
cream is fire.
Yes.
That's what I told them. They started laughing. And then, they asked me, why I chose my talent. I actually got to talk about my mama. My mama, she was actually in the Miss Alabama nursing home pageant.
Okay,
Fun
okay.
fact. She was a mess. She actually passed away this past July. But she played she was such an important mentor for me.
Mm-hmm.
She was the best great grandma could have asked for. She was very extra. She loved girly things. I think I get a lot of that from her.
Okay.
But at the same time, she was a hard worker. She lived on a farm her whole life. So she played a very important role in my life. So I got to talk about her. Got to talk about how that impacted the song choice that I picked.
Mm-hmm.
She loved to hear me sing that song, so that's
Okay.
really why I did.
Mm-hmm.
Her favorite color was purple, magenta color. So
Yes.
that was my interview color kind of for the dress. It was kind of a magenta color.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to talk about that and how it kind of tied into breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, she had breast cancer when I was in kindergarten.
Yes.
And so just seeing my mom go through that, I decided pink was the color that I wanted to wear in an interview. So if I talked about it, I could kind of explain that's why I'm wearing this color.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, but they asked me so many just fun questions too. I don't know, I want to go to Uganda. And hopefully, in the next 5 years, I want to be able to go. Actually, with my CSI, a couple
Okay.
from my church. I think we talked about this in sociology.
Yes, we did.
Yes. It's coming back to me now.
Uh-huh.
But I want to go to Uganda with a couple from my church.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually have an orphanage. So I'm hoping that with my CSI, I'm able to raise funds for their orphanage, especially for the girls in the orphanage.
Yes.
Maybe it's just, getting feminine products or getting some clothes, some toys. Whatever that may be, whatever that may look like, I've still got to really get in contact with a couple and just see what they need.
Mm-hmm.
But even just make a difference in those girls' lives, all the way in Uganda. So I got to talk about that, why I want to go to Uganda, what my favorite Mexican food is, what I order. It was so broad, but it was so fun. I loved my interview. I came out laughing, and when I walked out, I heard them laughing. So I was like, well, this is either really good or really bad. I don't know if
Yes.
they're laughing with me, if they're laughing at me, but maybe they're laughing with me.
Okay.
But I felt good about my interview. That was my favorite part.
So when you're doing this interview, are you on a stage and there's a panel of judges around you, or you close to them, sitting up, standing down, or standing up, sitting down? How does that work?
So this pageant was actually my first interview to do standing up.
Okay.
We had a podium, but it was a clear podium, and we stood probably 10 foot away from them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what room it was in, but it was in the student center.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the room with the windows, the clear windows.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense, but that was
Yes.
the room we was in, and they was just sitting on the couches. It was very relaxed feeling.
Okay.
Just stood up there and walked in, but that was 10 minutes, and then the onstage question, we each had one question that they came up with us.
Gotcha. And that one you are on stage for, and I guess the panel of judges are a little further away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a few rows back in the Betty Lou Thane Center, so yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
And you
yeah.
don't know that question, so. Yeah,
Yes, so you just have to hope that.
yeah you
got
just
something
gotta
to say.
pray. I was literally praying before I walked out. I was like, Lord, please, please, please.
You touched on it briefly earlier, but so you said your great grandmother, your Mimi, is that what you call her?
Mama.
Mama, gotcha.
Yes.
So she was in the Miss Alabama nursing home pageant. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Gotcha. And then you also talked about going to the UNA pageant with your mother, and y'all try to do that every year.
Yes. So my mama loved all things fancy, all things sparkly. She was just very, I don't know, she's very girly, like I said. But she stayed at Woodland, so she was in the nursing home, and she won Miss Woodland Village. So I think I was in third, fourth grade.
Okay.
I don't know, but she got to go to the Miss Alabama nursing home pageant, and she would tell you that she won, but she got second alternate.
Okay.
Which wasn't bad.
Yes.
She done great. She started her stuff on stage, and she sparkled and shined. But in her mind, she won. In our mind, she won. So she was great. But she always was wanting me to do a pageant. She was really the reason why I wanted to do the Miss Wallace pageant. And before she passed away, like, she would always, I went to go see her just about every day in the nursing home, and I would take her, especially like when the weather was pretty, I would take her to Heritage Park, and I would stroll her around in her wheelchair or something. And that's what we did, and we talked about, like, pageants, singing. She always, anytime we seen somebody at the park, she'd be like, listen to what she has on her phone. And it'd be like a video of me singing, and I'm like, Mama, like, no. But I got to explain to the judges that that's why I chose to be in the pageant. That's why I chose that particular song. But actually, pageants they don't run in my family, but I guess they do in a weird way.
Okay.
My Mimi was actually, I was Miss West Point 2023.
Okay.
And my Mimi was Miss West Point 1973.
Okay.
So it was, I didn't even
50-year difference.
Yes, I didn't even realize it. Like, I knew that she was Miss West Point when she was a senior, but I didn't realize that it was, like, exactly 50 years later, and my Mimi didn't even tell me that until after the pageant. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then my mom won in 1993. So it's really weird, but it was, like, 1973, 1993, and then 2023. So it's just kind of weird. I think it's weird, but I guess they do kind of run in my family. I don't know.
Okay.
Get pictures, especially like looking back at pictures and seeing me and then my mom and then my Mimi. We all look kind of similar, so
Gotcha.
it was neat for me to look at that. So
would it be safe to say that out of as far back as you can trace with people being in pageants in your family, that you are the most involved? So you talked about being in a bunch of different pageants. So do you think you've been in the most of any individual in your family? Yeah,
probably so. Yes, especially like prelims. Like no one else in my family really did a prelim, so this was new-ish, I guess. My mom, like I said, we always enjoyed going to prelims, but we've never really, like, done any. Okay. So this was my first, like, official preliminary to do.
Alrighty, Marli Kate. So I think I've got one last question for you. So along the lines of you following in the footsteps, I guess, with your mama and your mother, you are getting to go to Miss Alabama because of your success and winning Miss Wallace State. So would you say that you are not only following in the footsteps, but maybe even trying to go a step further, so that way there'll be something for, your daughter or your granddaughter or great-granddaughter, something for them to, an ambition for them to look up to?
Yes, so like I said, mentorship. My mentors in my life, I've had some great ones, but my mom and my Mimi and my mama, they all played a very important part of my life. So just being able to kind of carry them with me along the way, even like with my interview dress, I said I like to carry along, different things. I like to have intentionality, like, behind everything. It's just something really special, and I hope that not only, like, the girls that I come into contact with, but, the girls that I do in the future, I hope that I'm able to create just a lasting impression of just a positive, just Christian example in their life, and be a positive influence and be that girl for them. So, if nothing else, I hope to gain a portrayal of myself of just a mentor that they can look up to and someone that they can talk to.
Gotcha. Yeah, it all sounds great. And then what about, so you are about to, obviously we're wrapping this up, but where can we continue to follow this journey for you and what that looks like? Yeah,
so you can follow my personal Instagram account. It's at Marli Powell. My CSI account is Made for More Mentorship, or you can just follow Miss Wallace State. That's fine too. It's literally, I think it's just Miss Wallace State is what it is, but I post pretty regularly on there. And I'm also hoping to start a YouTube channel here soon and get it uploaded. So, yeah, just follow all those accounts and follow along me with my journey. So.
And if any ladies looking into, mentorship or mentoring.
Yes, and if y'all are wanting to maybe go with me to some schools or get interviewed, it won't be like a scary interview. It'll be very, very relaxed. We'll just be having a conversation. Just getting to know y'all more so that you can impact young girls with your testimony. So if y'all are interested, let me know.
Alrighty. Thank you, Marli.
Thank y'all for having me on here.
Yes, I think that's everything I got for you, but thank you. Alrighty, folks. That is the conclusion of this episode of your Wallace State Main Topic Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. I also want to have a special thanks to Marli Kate Powell for joining us on this special episode where we talk to her about Miss Wallace State. Also want to thank our video editor, Miss Arlette Flores, for all the good work that she does. It makes me not sound dumb, so that's nice. And also want to thank the Wallace State communications and marketing team for making this possible. And I'm Jay Salvey, the host of your Main Topic Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in.